Greetings and welcome everyone to this North American Leadership Academy this evening. I'm Laura Weeks and I'll be your host for this session. I'm coming to you from Whidbey Island, Washington, almost as far west as one can get in the continental United States. And if you haven't done so already, please let us know in the chat section where you're tuning in from, as we love seeing how many people around the world are passionate about seed nutrition. If you're a guest, I want to welcome you particularly, and we're delighted to have guests who are curious, open-minded enough to learn about something new that might, just might, change your life for the better. Each week at the North American Leadership Academy, we have presenters that talk about something different. Sometimes how a particular aspect of the business works, sometimes testimonials, sometimes strategies for personal or professional development, or sometimes a spotlight on our products and how they can help us to optimize our nutrition and thereby optimize our health. If you join us every Thursday evening, you'll get a great sense of what RAIN International is all about. Tonight, I'm going to talk about the benefits of seed nutrition for children. I know this topic was discussed just a few weeks ago recently by Isabella Costa, who did a fabulous job presenting on seed nutrition for children and families. So why talk about it again? Because it's such an important topic that just doesn't get the attention it deserves, in my opinion. And I'd like to talk about this issue a little differently and in more depth than perhaps has been done in other shorter presentations we've done in previous leadership academies. So please bear with me. I have a lot of notes tonight to make sure that I cover as much as possible in this next half hour or so. I'll start out by saying that I'm a mom. So this is an issue that is particularly near and dear to my heart. And I wish that these products had been available when my husband and I were raising our 4 daughters. It would have made my life so much easier and given me peace of mind to know that there were safe, effective, and convenient ways to make sure that my girls were getting their broad nutritional needs met so that they could perform their best in all areas of their life. Our daughters are now grown, but they will always be my children. And it delights me that they now choose to take these products on a regular basis and are reducing the risk factors for future potential health challenges now that I don't get to control how they live and everything that they put in their mouths. Healthy habits start young. I believe that giving these products to children are obviously not all you need to do as a parent, but they absolutely support other healthy lifestyle habits. So if you're a parent or a grandparent, please know that you have a tremendous ally at your fingertips. Think for a moment about all the things that we do for our children to give them the very best upbringing. We encourage them to get enough sleep, to excel in school, to hang around with good friends. We give them all kinds of lessons and activities, ranging from sports to music, to travel, to art. We provide a spiritual or a moral foundation. But how high on that list is the quality of the food that we are feeding them? It has been said that we are what we eat. So what are our children really eating? Many of our children are growing up on fast food, which is highly processed, full of artificial ingredients and unhealthy fats, high in calories, but devoid of nutrients. Even if we buy them fresh fruits and vegetables, the soil's not as rich as it used to be and nutrient dense. So most children and adults are deficient in some critical nutrients. And let's not forget how much toxicity we are exposed to in every area of our lives in modern society. Not to dwell on the negative, but babies in utero have even been shown to carry a toxic burden before they're even born. And some children have genetic dispositions that make it harder for their systems to detoxify. Most children are spending more time indoors, in front of screens than outside playing in the sunshine and fresh air. The result is that our children are experiencing an exponential growth in chronic diseases. Health challenges that used to be seen primarily in adults are now rampant in our children. There's an important nutritional and lifestyle component to this decline in the health of our children. In order to maintain and optimize health, fundamentally, we need to replenish what we're deficient in and remove what our bodies have too much of. Now, I get it that parents are very busy these days. I was when my children were young. Not everyone has the time or space to grow an organic garden. Most parents are busy working to support your families and don't have time to cook every single meal from scratch. Organic food is not always readily available. Children like the taste of junk food, and it's what their friends are eating. It's easy, it's designed to be addictive. But fortunately, we're a solution-oriented company, and fortunately, we have safe, effective, cost-effective, and convenient solutions that can make a tremendous difference. Now, over my 12 years or so partnering with RAIN International, I have observed that most often, children are not the first people we think of about who would benefit from seed nutrition and our products. I'd like to help change that. Our children are our future. Arguably, they should be the first ones we think about and prioritize. But why seed nutrition? Why these products? Why not any of the other thousands of different supplements that are available in the marketplace? And it's simple, because like our children, seeds are the future of the plant. Seeds contain everything, not some, but everything that the plant needs to carry it into the next generation. Both macronutrients and micronutrients, the protein, the healthy oils, the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, even the genetic material that our bodies can use to help fix the ongoing damage that we encounter throughout our lives. Think of it this way. Unlike the fruit, the stem, the leaf, or the root, plants put everything into the seed to carry the plant forward into the next generation and thrive. Just as we give everything we can to our children, nothing else is as complete or as concentrated as seed-sourced nutrition. We'll get to the specific products that RAIN International offers in just a minute, but first, I want to address some important considerations that my husband and I have always taken into account when evaluating any health or medical intervention. By the way, we have owned and operated an integrative, nutritionally oriented medical clinic for more than 30 years. So I've been working in this field for a long, long time. These are some of the things that I encourage you to think about when considering offering anything, including RAIN's products, to your children. And hopefully they're questions you are already asking. Always consider the risks and benefits of any intervention. First and foremost, consider safety. The great Greek physician and philosopher admonished us thousands of years ago, first, do no harm. So are RAIN products safe? The answer is yes. The foundation of all products are seeds. All of RAIN's products are seeds. Seeds are the source of life, seeds to which some other natural ingredients have been added. Seeds are fundamentally food. Do you worry if your child eats an extra 2 or 3 servings of vegetables at dinner? If they snack on an apple instead of a candy bar? I know of children who have climbed up and gotten into the high cupboards in the kitchens in their houses in order to get to the boxes of sole that have been hidden by their parents because the kids like these nutritional products so much. They've eaten their way through many, many packets before their parents found out. I've seen photos of a friend of mine's, a RAIN partner friend of mine's grandchildren where the 4-year-old was sitting feeding her 2-year-old sister packets of Sol and Core. And by the time the mom came back into the kitchen, there were empty packets strewn all over the tabletop of the high chair and the floor. So did these kids all get rushed to the hospital like they would if they had gotten into the medicine cabinet? No, they simply got a huge boost of vitamins, minerals, and healthy oils to feed their brains. You may have heard President Trump recently, if you live in the United States, you may have heard President Trump recently urging parents not to give Tylenol to babies and young children, and urging pregnant women not to take Tylenol because of the risks of liver toxicity and the risks to the neurodevelopment of babies and unborn children. The use of over-the-counter pain and anti-inflammatory medications are not without risk. So what other options are there? Well, for helping to reduce inflammation and for healthy pain relief, Sol is a great option to consider. You see, nature has provided a lot of amazing things that we can harness, that we can use to our benefit. We'll talk more about Sol in a few minutes. I could go on much, much longer, but essentially, seed nutrition, in my mind, passes the "is it safe" test. Secondly, do these products contain quality ingredients? Do they have what they say they have inside them? Not all supplements do. Rain goes above and beyond to source the highest quality vegan sources of each ingredient in their products. This was a big concern for me and my husband when we were first, introduced to this company. And so we asked many difficult questions and did our due diligence. Did you know that there are cheaper sources of many of the ingredients that are not as effective as what Rain chooses to use? Rain consistently goes above and beyond to get the best quality of each ingredient, uncontaminated seeds grown without artificial herbicides and pesticides, the best source of vitamin D, a vegan source, the best form of glucosamine, the best kind of vitamin D, B12, etc. Several of the products have also been tested by third-party labs to measure their purity, their quality, and their performance. If I had more time, I could go into greater detail on all of this subject, but essentially, Rain products contain all of the good and none of the bad. So next, consider the question of, are the products actually effective? We only want to give our children things that are effective. Rain's formulations are synergistic combinations of ingredients, all of which have been extensively studied in the medical and scientific literature. Rain has lots of informational materials about the effectiveness of the individual ingredients, but if you want to do more, do your own research. Check it out for yourself, as I have. Search the internet to read the articles. Rain uses cutting-edge ingredients which are not fads, but which are proven. I read articles every single day, since this is my work, that corroborate the power of the ingredients in Rain's product. Not only is each ingredient valuable in its own right, but the ingredients are even more powerful when in combination with one another. Each of Rain's products targets a different area of our functional health. So you don't need to be an expert to choose which products might be the best fit for your child. And most people, even children, do notice a difference in how they feel. We have school-age kids asking for these products from their parents because they notice that they feel less fidgety. They notice that they have better attention and focus in school. Remember, products are only effective when they're actually taken, when they're actually consumed. When the products taste good, as these do, most children like them and willingly take them, which is a tremendous bonus indeed. So safe and effective, what's next? Are they cost effective? Ask yourself this: what's it worth to you to optimize your child's health and performance? What if they get sick less often and you have to take less time off from work? What if they do better in school? I personally know some parents whose child's teacher asked what they changed in their child's life because the teacher noticed that their student was doing better in school, was able to sit still longer, was more focused, was playing better with the other children. After a while, the teacher even asked this particular parent if she could invite another parent to call the child's parents to talk about what this person had done, because the teacher thought that another child in her classroom might benefit from whatever this parent had changed in her child's life. It was that noticeable to an elementary school teacher. What would it cost to go to the grocery store or the farmer's market to purchase the 6 to 8 servings worth of vegetables and fruits that are provided in each gel pack of our product Soul, or the protein equivalent that's in our product Form? You decide if it's cost effective. Now, before we get into a little bit more detail about each of the specific products, let's just take a moment to talk about a critical factor in my mind, which is convenience. We live in a world that necessitates and values convenience. And I've learned in our medical clinic that when we can offer a protocol, or if we can offer solutions that are convenient, we have a much better likelihood of compliance and therefore a much greater likelihood of good results. What could be more convenient than ripping and sipping a gel pack of ready-to-eat nutritional goodness, or pouring a serving of pure powder or Form into a shaker bottle with water and being ready to go, or spraying a few sprays of Vive or Vita into your child's mouth to get vitamin D? Products that you can send to school in your child's backpack, keep in your purse, keep in your car, that you can easily travel with. Remember, this is food. If you lead a busy life, as most parents do, you certainly appreciate convenience. Okay, so finally, on to the products. Well, I can make a very strong case for giving your child each and every one of the products Rain offers. I'm going to try and prioritize a little bit from my perspective, but I want you to know at the outset that you can't go wrong. Each one of these products is effective on its own, but they can also be used in combination. So you can't hurt yourself if you take every single one of these things every day. Start where you can. See what works best for your child based on their individuality. Mix and match. I think you'll be impressed. So my discussion of these products will necessarily be brief. I only have time for the highlights, but you will learn as you go. And remember, there is lots of information from Rain, as well as other sources on all of the different ingredients in these products. And I'd also like to make this caveat. These products are not designed to treat or cure any particular diseases, but what they do is far better. They support our own body, which is the true miracle worker, to behave, to perform as it was designed to perform, to be healthy. We have an innate tendency towards health. And if we get out of our own way and if we give our bodies what we need, our bodies want to be healthy. So the first product that I'm going to discuss is the flagship product called Soul. This was the very first product released by the company Rain back in 2011. For the first few years of the company's existence, and when I first got involved with Rain in 2013, it was the only product that the company sold, and all by itself, it was changing lives significantly. Soul was actually formulated by some medical doctors who were given the task to help rebuild the immune systems of children who were dealing with cancer. These doctors were looking for the most nutrient-dense solution for these kids who couldn't tolerate a lot of food because of their treatments. And in their wisdom, these doctors turned to the power of seed source nutrition. Rain eventually got the licensing rights to the product Soul. Seed nutrition, the revolution in nutrition was born, and here we are today in 2025. So in my opinion, soul benefits everyone with a pulse. If you're alive, you can benefit from soul. I consider it foundational. Soul has 3 seeds: the black cumin seed, the black raspberry seed, and the Chardonnay grape seed, along with 2 naturally occurring 5-carbon sugars, D-ribose and xylitol, that do not raise blood sugar. Soul is nutrient dense. It's the nutritional equivalent of eating 6 to 8 servings of fruits and vegetables in a simple 2-ounce packet. It provides the full array of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants necessary for health. It has the healthy oils that our children need for their brain and their organ systems to develop and be healthy. And these oils also help regulate blood sugar, which keeps the body on an even keel and helps reduce cravings for sugar and other quick energy fixes and sugary kinds of foods. It also has D-ribose, which powers our mitochondria. You may know that the energy powerhouse of our cells is mitochondria. Xylitol helps reduce bacteria in the mouth. This helps reduce the strep mutans bacteria in the mouth and the sinus tract, promoting good dental health and nasal passages and sinus cavity health. This is really an area of significant health challenge for a lot of children. It's also a powerful anti-inflammatory product. We want to reduce inflammation that arises from all of the bumps and bruises and falls that our kids inevitably experience in life. And please remember that reducing inflammation reduces pain, because pain is mediated by inflammation. But inflammation, particularly systemic ongoing inflammation, drives all kinds of chronic diseases in our world. That is something that is becoming increasingly understood. In fact, just last night, I was listening to a lecture that was talking about tests for inflammation becoming more available and used markers for cardiac function and dysfunction in life. So people are really beginning to understand how we have to control too much inflammation, even among our children. So soul, quite simply, helps everything work better. And if all you can do is give your kids soul, they will be ahead of the game. Pure is the second product that I think about for children. Pure is a prebiotic and probiotic fortified with seeds, such as pumpkin seed and watermelon seed, and supports a healthy gut microbiome. If we don't have a balanced gut microbiome, we're at risk, not only for all kinds of digestive issues and challenges, skin disorders, a compromised immune system, and a leaky gut, but also we risk not having our brains function optimally. You may have heard about the gut-brain connection, or the fact that our gut is sometimes called our second brain. When we have a healthy gut microbiome, we have clearer, better thinking and healthier neurodevelopment. Remember, your child's brain is not fully developed until she or he becomes an adult. What disrupts a healthy gut? Well, antibiotics do. So if your child has ever taken antibiotics, which means by definition against life, which kill all kinds of bacteria, the good ones along with the bad ones, then you need to replenish the good bacteria with probiotics and prebiotics. Pure has a powerful array of beneficial probiotics and also inulin, which is the prebiotic fiber that functions as food for the probiotics. Other gut microbiome disruptors include processed foods, sugar-laden foods, especially the ones with ingredients grown in soils treated with herbicides and pesticides. These things can really destroy the gut microbiome and create a leaky gut, which can lead to all kinds of other autoimmune and chronic health challenges. So between these two things, antibiotics and the kinds of things that we're ingesting, that our children are ingesting, almost all children will benefit from continual supplementation with a primo probiotic, prebiotic formulation like Pure. Thirdly, if your child, like many, is not getting 6 to 8 servings of healthy, dark green leafy vegetables each day, they will certainly get them if they get some core into their system. Greens like kale, dandelion, wheatgrass, spirulina, and chlorella are important not only for the minerals they provide, like calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, copper, and potassium, which support bone health, heart health, and provide energy. They also detoxify our systems. But how many kids love the taste of dandelion, love the taste of wheatgrass, love, love the taste of the blue-green algae? Not so many. Now, core also has black cumin seed, cranberry seed, and milk thistle seed, which help to detoxify the system and keep our liver, kidneys, and urinary tract healthy. As I said, some children don't like dark green leafy greens, and some don't love the taste of core. Some do, but not all of them. So if you mix it in a shaker bottle with some Pure, personally, I prefer the lemon lime flavor, now you have a smoothie that's less bitter. And if necessary, add some berries or some banana to make it even more palatable. But core will give your kid all of those greens that most of them don't prefer to eat. And if your child isn't getting an abundance of good, healthy protein, then consider adding Form to their life or to their smoothies. Form is a seed-based vegan protein formulation rich in seed-sourced proteins like pea protein, hemp seed, grape seed, cocoa. It's very easily digested. The branched chain amino acids are bioavailable, and they go right into our body to help build muscle, not only muscle in our legs to help us run faster, but heart muscle and other muscles. It has the benefit for brain development, immune health, and all the amino acids that our body cannot make, that we have to get from food that we consume. And of course, it's great for all athletes, both for performance and recovery. So specifically, as your kids get older, if they're doing athletics, really good to supplement with an easily digestible protein formulation like Form. It's great and it's an after-school snack before sports or other school activities. Active adolescents, particularly going through growth spurts, need plenty of good quality protein for optimal performance. Now let's consider Vive, or our newest formulation, Vita. Vita means life, and these are Rain's vitamin D formulations. The scientific data is clear that having optimal levels of vitamin D is very important for optimal health as well. And these days, most people are deficient in vitamin D because we spend much less time outside in the sun than people did in centuries past. Our bodies start to make vitamin D when sunshine touches our skin that's not covered in sunscreen, and then the liver and the kidneys get involved to make the vitamin D in its active form that our bodies can use. But for people who live in the far northern and southern latitudes away from the equator, and for people who spend most waking hours indoors, we just don't make enough of this important vitamin. Our children need vitamin D, abundant amounts of vitamin D, for optimal immune function, to absorb calcium for strong bones and teeth, and for optimal immune function, for all kinds of other physiological processes. Rain's vitamin D comes from vegan sources, which is highly unusual. Most vitamin D and vitamin D supplements is animal-based, not plant-based. Rain's vitamin D products are fortified with the sea buckthorn seed oil, and in the case of Vive, with tomato seed oil, and in the case of Vita, with vitamin K and vitamin E for superior absorption, for getting the calcium into the bones where it belongs. Vita and Vive are both micronized spray delivery systems of vitamin D. So they're better absorbed than vitamin D that you would take in capsules or tablets because they don't get degraded by the digestive tract. So make sure your children are getting abundant levels of vitamin D. We want them in the optimal ranges, not barely passing. Just like, you're probably not excited about your kids coming home with grades of D on their tests. You prefer A or B. You want your kids to be getting A's and B's in their vitamin D levels and in all of their other nutrient levels so that they can benefit from optimal performance. And then the last product I'm going to talk about really for young people is Bright. Bright is our nootropic or cognitive enhancement product. Now, I don't usually think of Bright for young children, but for students, particularly high school students, college students who want better mental energy, memory, concentration, and focus, this is a really much better alternative than a lot of the pills that these kids are taking or the red pill that they're taking to keep them energized, up late working, studying, and so forth. Bright has coconut, which is actually a seed, and also has watermelon seed, chia seed, lion's mane mushroom, and many, many other ingredients that enhance mood, mental focus, and clarity. It's brain food. And in my opinion, it works very, very well along with Soul. Now, it's a capsule, and by the time most kids are in high school or college, they can take capsules. But if by any chance they can't, or if for some particular reason you think it's valuable to give this to a younger child, you can certainly open up those capsules and just put them into some other food that they're eating, and they can take it that way. So this is a long list. Rain has a number of other products like Bend for joint health, Renew for intestinal cleansing, Beet, which is great for enhancing circulation and therefore getting oxygen throughout the body. These I think of more for a little bit older teenagers, perhaps adults. Beet is great for athletes, but the other products I've mentioned are the ones that I really think of for young children who are in earlier stages of their development. But remember, parents need to take care of themselves too. So make sure that you're using products that are going to keep yourselves healthy. And remember that if you're planning to have children, you want to make sure that you're feeding your body optimally before you start having your children so that your children are developing as healthfully as possible. Having a well-nourished body is going to put you in position to deal with any kind of health challenge that you face better. Once again, we are what we eat. And lastly, I do want to mention this. I recognize that Rain products are not the cheapest products on the market. They are premium products that offer premium results. Sometimes you do get what you pay for. And this is one of those situations. Don't waste your money on cheap, poor quality, fad products that don't work. Trust nature. Your children are worth it. And remember, we also have a way that you can work to earn and therefore build an income stream to actually pay for these products that you may not have budgeted for. So if this interests you and you're a guest on the call, ask the person who invited you to listen in for more information about how you too can share to earn. So in sum, and very briefly, my message to you tonight is simple. Seed nutrition is optimal food. It's optimal nutrition for children that can help children stay healthy. They can help healthy children stay healthy and can reduce the factors that contribute to chronic illness. And seed nutrition can support our children's ability to recover their health when they are facing health challenges. Our children are our greatest treasures. They are our future. Let's take care of them as best we can. Thanks for joining me tonight. Best wishes to all.